This video is a comprehensive tutorial and review of Believe, the protocol, and Launchcoin. I'm going to talk about tips and tricks when it comes to trading these particular coins, how traders are turning hundreds of dollars into six figures. We haven't seen this since mid last year when AI meme coins first hit the space. I'm also going to compare Believe to things like Pump.Fun so you understand the differences. I'm going to show you exactly how the protocol actually works, how coins are created, and also where the best place is to actually trade these coins. And in my opinion, what I think the future holds, especially the next few weeks with Believe. So let's talk about that. So first of all, I'm going to link this below. This is the full playbook, and this basically is a guide which talks about how the coins work. But in a nutshell, this is a good example. This is dupe.com. So this was an accidental launch on Believe. Basically, dupe.com is already an e-commerce platform. And what the founder did was he tried to launch a coin on Believe almost by accident, and basically to launch a coin on here, all you have to do is tag at Launchcoin, and you can see it specifies it there. It's more effective to tag at Launchcoin in the main post rather than a reply. So if you do that, so you can actually search for that here. So if you search for that, and if you click on latest, you can see people trying to literally launch coins. So basically this is a tweet to coin factory. You type in that tag and then you type the name of the coin you want, and basically it creates that token. Now there's obviously some checks that they do. It has to be related to a Twitter account, and you need to link a Solana wallet to that because they will send you creator tokens. Ben Pasternak, he's the creator behind this, and if you have a read of a couple of these tweets, so you can see also what they're trying to do is create utility with this. This is where it kind of differentiates from things like Pump.Fun. You can see where they're adding things like coin utility, airdrops, deflationary options, all of this stuff, which you can't really do on Pump.Fun. And also, the whole point of this is, I guess in essence, they're looking for builders who want to launch some sort of project and fund that project. So they'll actually send you $10,000 if they feature your project on Believe. And what they're doing so far, it's definitely working. So just to show you a few stats here, the total market cap of Believe tokens already is standing at around just under $200 million. And in terms of the largest coins, some of these we'll go through in just a minute. You've got them all here. These are the top 25. You can see two have the biggest kind of market share, Dupe and Goon coin. And you can see that here, pie chart of Believe coins by market cap. Those are the biggest by far, and then you've got Noodle and you've got several smaller ones after that. And you can see this has all been hotting up in literally just the last couple of days. There's constantly new coins being created, and in a minute I'm going to show you the best place I think to trade these right now. Now you can download the Believe app and you can use that to trade the coins, to create a coin, but the trading bots that everybody's been using for the last couple of years that I've been sharing on this channel, they are way better. And especially so because in some countries you can't even trade on Believe. The Believe app, it doesn't even work. You can't download it. For example, some countries in Europe. So what do? I suggest you use Axiom Pro. Very good for Launchcoin meme coins. You've got a direct invitation link in the description below and the pinned comment. When you click on that, you can set up your profile. Just type in your email address, and once you set up, you'll eventually come to this homepage. And here, what you can do is click on Pulse. And now what we want to do is we want to set special filters for this. So what we need to do for that is click on any of these filter buttons on any of the three columns. It doesn't matter which one, because here you edit all of them anyway. Completely reset everything. So click on Reset Final Stretch here at the bottom, because you may have existing filters beforehand. And now all you want to do is on all of these, just deselect all of the others so that the only one selected is Launchcoin. So I'm going to do it for literally all three, for Final Stretch, New Pairs, everything. So it's just Launchcoin now. You can see that there. And at the moment, I've not added anything else. So I've just added that. Everything else I've left blank. Click Apply. Now we can see all of those coins that are launch coins on Believe. And you can see in the right hand column, if you scroll down, you see some of these low market caps, some of these much higher market caps. Now you can actually add more filters here. For example, if you only want to trade the ones that have a little bit more established, what you could do is come to metrics here, market cap, and let's say you just want 1 million and above. You can type that in there and click Apply, and now you'll see the ones higher than 1 million. And slowly you'll see some of the ones that you may have heard of. You've got Uber here, Unicorn as well. Let's just click on Unicorn. And now here you can, doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can trade this. So you can literally buy and sell. These are Solana meme coins. So they're on Solana anyway. Now in terms of setups, they're so new, these coins, that it's a little bit tricky to find something that's established. What I would say is stick to the basics of TA. So for example, a lot of coins I've seen, the ones that perform better, they're very, very quick at the beginning, especially if it's a well-known tweet or the Believe official Twitter themselves have endorsed the coin. So you see some straight up at the beginning. Now, if you're fast and you get in early, and I'll show you some tips for that later in the video, you can catch that initial pump. But if you can't, don't worry about it. What you're looking for is that second wave breakout. So you see at the bottom there where new volume comes in. You're looking to ride that wave. If you see this kind of descending triangle pattern with this trend line and it's breaking out, even after it's broken out, you can get in a little bit later too. That's definitely an opportunity to trade and make some multiples. So for example, from this one, we were going from 4 million to around 27 million. So anywhere from a 3x to a 5x there in terms of that breakout. That's what you're looking for. But the problem is not all of them will do that second wave. At the moment anyway, the volume's really good on this particular protocol. So for example, in terms of stats here, the volume in terms of daily tokens, the amount that's being launched is very good. The graduation is actually really good too. It's actually better than Pump.Fun right now. And honestly, it has a lot more attention. I mean, eventually Pump.Fun was going to get a significant kind of competitor. There's so many launch pads right now, it can get a little bit confusing. But what do I always say on my videos? The thing I always say is follow the volume. So where we are at this stage of the market, because I think we're way late now into the cycle, and this is almost a lucky extra meta we have right now, where we're looking at these kind of launch pads and all this new volume coming in and making it even easier to launch coins. And remember, with Believe, it's a little bit different because the creator gets constant revenue from fees. I believe there's a 2% buy sell fee on all of these. So some of that goes to the creator. So there's extra incentive for you as a creator to hold some tokens, but not necessarily sell it. So for example, if it runs to 10 million, I believe, if it's 10 million in volume, let's say in one day, 10 million is traded in volume. I believe it might be something quite high, like 100K USD actually, in fees that the creator picks up from that. So basically 1%, I think it's shared 50-50. That's a lot. That's really significant. That's a massive incentive for somebody to build on here. So it's these little things that can make all the difference. And that's why you should get on this early and spend more time analyzing some of these coins. And especially, we've got the filters here, looking at the new pairs, looking at the new ones to see what might be moving. And how do you get in early? Well, a couple of things you can do. One is a passive way. So you can literally go on Twitter, find out if anybody you know is hinting, any big kind of influencer or founder or company is hinting at a coin launch, maybe using the Believe app. So if somebody's hinting at that on here, that's a really good sign. Or literally just track mentions. So mentions of Launchcoin. So you can track this and follow this. And you can do that on Axiom too. So you can do that manually on X, or you can do that on Axiom obviously as well. But the automatic way to do this is, again, to use filters. So we've added filters of Launchcoin, but now we can add things like the volume, the market cap, etc. So for example, if you wanted it to be, well traded so far, let's say something like 20,000 in volume, click apply, it will add that into the middle column there. And remember, you've got the basics there, which I've discussed on many videos. So obviously you can check if there's any insider trading, if there's a high percentage bundling, stuff like that. Because obviously you're still going to get rugs, you're still going to get scams. You have to be careful about that. It doesn't matter which protocol you use or which Solana meme coins you trade. With new pairs, you always have to be worried about that. You can absolutely trade the slightly more established ones. These are still obviously very new, but it's already done some decent volume, got to decent market caps, and then you can trade. So obviously that was the breakout trade there, but now you can look for pullbacks. So either trendline pullbacks, you can look for previous highs, so support resistance pullbacks, any of these areas to buy. You can create limit orders like I've shown you before, limit order here, and you can move down the target in terms of exactly where you want to buy. So you can set that up beforehand, so you can kind of sleep on it and it will automatically activate your position. Obviously manage your risk always. if you're brand new to this particular protocol, start very, very small positions and build up from there. All in all, with Believe, it's very similar to Zora on base in terms of its actual approach. But so far, it's getting very, very good volumes. But just remember, that's what I'm seeing a lot here. You're seeing initial pump very, very fast upwards into multiple millions of market cap, which is great if you can catch any of that move. But then after that, don't get stuck in the sideways trap. Look for legitimate breakouts, increase in volume to see if it does that second wave. And obviously with all of these coins, you can check the Twitter accounts and just see what is it actually linked to. And that's where you can see exactly what they're building. Now, again, if you're new to meme coins, I'm going to state the obvious, but it's important. It really doesn't matter what they're building and how good it is. I know that sounds weird and counterintuitive when it comes to crypto coins, but that's how it works right now. It's all about attention. It's all about the influencers, the calls they have on board, how much word spreading, how memeable it is, how viral it is. That's way, way, way more important than actually what they're building. It's just reality. Like, people have such short attention spans now. Everybody's rotating, jumping from coin to coin. That's just how it is. So look for attention much more than like the quality of whatever they're building. That doesn't really matter. I mean, these are short-term trades. You're only going to be holding from minutes to hours, maybe days, if it's one of the more established ones, which I've shown you here. I'll link this below as well. So literally you can research all of these coins and just see if there's any that you might want to hold. Now, what we've seen before with these kind of protocols is sometimes the original coins, the largest coins, the most well-known coins, long term, even if everything else fails, they tend to hold up in terms of kind of market cap a little bit better and trend a little bit better. Think about, for example, Virtual's own token. That's the one that obviously long-term outperformed a lot of the other ones that were on their platform. So think about it like that too. That's it for this one. Thanks for listening.